Family and friends of a missing Madison man continuing their search efforts 3 weeks after he disappeared in Rock County. Also, the community in Watertown coming together in mourning today after a house fire left 3 people dead. Plus, an area LGBTQ plus bar hosted an active shooter training session just weeks after a gunman opened fire at a nightclub in Colorado. That's all coming up right now at 10.
I just want to find my son. That's the main focus right now, is finding him, finding some clues. If anybody, know his whereabouts, reach out, let us know, because we have not a clue. We have no trace of him at all.
That's the desperate plea tonight from the mother of a 27-year-old Madison man who has not been seen in 3 weeks. Family and friends of Chris Miller were back out this afternoon leading a search party in hopes of finding anything that can help lead them back to him. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says he disappeared after a pursuit on the freeway in Janesville in the early morning hours of Saturday, November 19th. His family says his last known location was just west of I-3990, south of East Avalon Road. Today, Miller's loved ones were searching for any clues that can help them figure out where he is and what happened to him. Miller is described as being 6 feet tall, weighing nearly 180 pounds, and having black hair and black eyes. He also has a tattoo that reads Tammy on his chest and a scar on his thumb. His family says Rock County has stopped searching for him and turned the investigation over to Madison police.
So it's like, I'm going to keep fighting till Rock County take accountability and continue to search for my son, because we want to find him. I'm not going to just leave him just out here anywhere. We don't even know what happened.
Anyone with information on where Chris Miller is asked to call Madison police at the number on your screen. That's at 608-255-2345. His family is also posting updates on a Facebook page called Finding Christopher Miller. Let's take a look now at your certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Julian Seawright. Julian, trying to get in the Christmas spirit, but it's a little gloomy, a little foggy out there. Yeah, it's more of a late fall type of spirit for us right now, but at least we had yesterday to get into the Christmas spirit. But those who are snow lovers, this isn't going to be really the forecast for us as we get into the rest of tonight. We did have some drizzle, but we have a dense fog advisory that's in effect now until Sunday at noon, and that's going to be for all the gray areas on your screen, which is pretty much surrounding Dane County and areas to the south. Now, for right now, it's still rather foggy, as we're not really picking up much, but it's also on the nighttime side. So it's going to be hard to pick up anything on our sky cam, but as you can see around Dane County, areas are really struggling to see even a mile in terms of visibility from Lone Rock to Monroe and even for Janesville. Mineral Point's not even picking up anywhere as of right now. But looking ahead, temperatures are going to be steady into the middle 30s until we get into the overnight. Then we'll fall into the lower 30s with cloudy conditions and fall cover sticking around. We were seeing some light drizzle, couple of flurries, but that has pretty much cleared itself out now, and all the showers as well, which was towards the southeast, has cleared up. So we're looking for a bit of a drier night and temperatures to be below freezing just by a tad, as we see 31 degrees for Madison for tonight, 33 in Janesville with 29 in Platteville. For tomorrow, folks, be prepared for another foggy day. Our morning and our afternoon are going to have areas of fog. Temperatures will be into the upper 30s, but it's still going to be another gloomy one for us. But we're watching something else that's going to be brewing later into next week. We'll walk through that in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna. Noon tonight at 10, Tuba Christmas was back at the Capitol today, with Christmas tunes filling the Capitol Rotunda, with some of Wisconsin tuba players getting out their brass instruments to play songs of the holiday season. It wasn't just tubas, though. Euphonium, sousaphone, and baritone players were also invited to play in the 48th anniversary of the event, which happens in cities all across the country. Also new at 10, the Shelter from the Storm Dog and Cat Rescue held its Jingle Paws event tonight. It featured plenty of activities for you and your four-legged friend, with a special appearance from Santa Claus, who was available for pictures with children or your pets if you could get them to sit still. The shelter was first formed in 2005 in response to the overwhelming amount of animals being euthanized in local shelters. For founder Allison Davies, she's pleased with the constant turnout year in, year out.
This is amazing, and I just love having everybody out here to be able to have a place they can come and enjoy with their pets.
Although the event ended at 7 p.m., there are always opportunities to donate to the shelter. If you'd like to donate, just head over to the website FTS Rescue. Christmas Eve is 2 weeks away, and it's starting to feel more like Christmas time in southern Wisconsin. Holiday lights are up, snow's on the ground, and if you were in Verona this afternoon, you may have also seen some reindeer. Sugar Creek Elementary School hosted the animals this afternoon, along with plenty of other holiday festivities. While the reindeer may have been the biggest draw, children could also enjoy face painting, balloon animals, storytelling performances, live music, and even a visit from Santa and Mrs. Claus.
The excitement on their face and the questions that they're asking, what do they eat? Why are there antlers, on the ground over here? And what kind of sounds do they make? So it's really a nice way for kids to experience something else in the holiday season.
The event is made possible by the Verona Chamber of Commerce. And over in La Crosse, ornaments and plenty of snow accompanied the tree lighting at Burns Park. The trees were decorated with the help of volunteers and plenty of local businesses who donated a tree and ornaments, plus even a few snowmen joined in on the tree lighting. According to one volunteer, the weather did have an impact on the day, but it was still fun for everyone involved.
We do quite a few events throughout the year. We did one for Halloween and had a whole bunch of folks turn out, and this one, unfortunately, with the weather, it's not quite as good as we'd hoped.
Organizers mentioned that ornaments not used this year will go toward next year's tree lighting. In health news tonight, flu cases are on the rise across the country, with health experts at the CDC saying they've seen that virus spiking since Thanksgiving. The agency reports more than a third of all flu hospitalizations and deaths this season happened in just the past week. Overall, the flu has sickened more than 13 million Americans and has led to 120,000 hospitalizations and 7,300 deaths. Health officials are urging people to take precautions, especially as families start getting together for the upcoming holidays.
If you don't think this affects you because you may not have the flu or COVID, just imagine, God forbid, that you may have a heart attack or you may be pregnant and have to go to the hospital because of early labor, and those hospitals are full. So this affects everybody, whether you are ill with the flu and COVID or RSV at this time or not.
The amount of flu reported so far this year has already surpassed the number of flu cases recorded last year. About 80% of hospital beds are in use right now, an 8% increase over the past 2 weeks. A new study shows statins lower the risk of the deadliest type of stroke. The stroke, called an ischemic stroke, is caused by an intracerebral hemorrhage when blood from an artery bleeds into the brain. And it's the second most common stroke after a blood clot. The new study in the journal Neurology used prescription data and the health records of more than 88,000 people in Denmark who did not have a history of stroke. Overall, the risk dropped to 17% when they used statins for any period of time. For those who used statins for more than 5 years, they had a 33% lower risk of a bleeding stroke. A Madison LGBTQ bar and nightclub opened its doors early today to host an active shooter training. It comes at 3 weeks after 5 people were killed and 19 injured when a gunman opened fire inside of Club Q, an LGBTQ+ nightclub in Colorado Springs. The 2-hour training at 5 nightclub helped prepare people on what to do should they ever find themselves in a horrible situation like that. Madison police led the session, which was offered for free.
When we have events here at the beginning of every event, we always talk about all of our exits, where to go, which is something we've never done before, but now it's just a natural thing that we do. And then this seminar was just another tool.
5 nightclub actually has ties to Club Q, as a former door person there is now the general manager at Club Q. Earlier this week, the 22-year-old gunman from Colorado Springs was charged with 305 criminal counts. A day after learning about a fire that killed 3 people in Watertown early Friday morning, some members of that community are rallying together to raise money for the victims. Some support to help the victims came from a fundraiser at the Watertown Winter Market. Our Catherine Mark shares how one woman was compelled to raise money to support the victims' loved ones.
After a fire in Watertown killed 3 people, the coordinator of the Watertown Winter Market said the community felt an immense loss. And during the holiday season, she tells me it couldn't be a better time than to give back to this family who lost so much.
Anyone you spoke to in Watertown yesterday or today has mentioned how awful and how tragic it is and how they want to help.
Cassie Oxford and the community in Watertown are feeling many emotions after learning about a deadly fire in their town.
As a mother, I couldn't imagine going through something like that, and as a community, we want to let them know they're not alone.
The support at the market is coming through financial donations.
So from the proceeds from the charity raffle and also from our food sales, it'll be 50% will go to Watertown Family Aid and 50% will go to the family directly. I just hope it brings some peace and stability to the family, takes them off their plate.
For Cassie, she's hoping that every dollar can help those who are now suffering during a time of year meant to be celebrating.
This is the most tragic time for something like this to happen. It's really brought the community together, even if it's in a bad way.
We don't have much information about the people who died in this fire as of Saturday. When we do learn that information, we'll make sure to have that on our website at channel3000.com. Reporting in Watertown, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
In Milwaukee tonight, police are investigating the death of a U.S. postal worker. The 44-year-old man was shot and killed on duty last night while delivering a package. The victim had worked for USPS for nearly 2 decades. Investigators are searching for those responsible as the Milwaukee Police Department works with both the United States Postal Inspection Service and the FBI. No other details have been released. Still ahead at 10, in a future filled with electric cars, AM radio could be left behind. That story coming up on News 3 Now at 10.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
The long-lasting scent of Gain Flings made it smell like Dave was in his happy place, the massage chair at the mall. But he wasn't. Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
He has his grandfather's smile.
Her mother's eyes.
My cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease.
Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
What's the matter, hon?
There's nothing to do.
You should check out Ho Chunk Game in Madison, home with a 95% average payout.
And with so many slot machines, there's a game for every kind of player.
They're right, honey. And with new promotions and reward club perks all the time, there are more ways to win than ever before. Find your fun and visit Ho Chunk Gaming Madison today.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Now, what is happening?
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer. Now, choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select Ford vehicles, lock in your rate, and you're protected.
I'm proud of you, kid.
And that's how Ford is helping you shine bright. This season, get into a 2022 Explorer SUV with 2.9% financing for 60 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
After a serious truck crash, you need a team who knows how to handle trucking cases and gets results. You need Gruber Law Offices. There's never a fee until we win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
The first winter storm of the season.
You can see the precipitation area expanding pretty rapidly.
And the First Warn Weather Team helped you stay prepared for snowy conditions.
Those roads are going to be very treacherous.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. First Warn Weather, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
New data from this week reveals a sobering picture for youth in Wisconsin, with almost 1 in 5 saying they have seriously considered suicide. That number rises sharply to nearly 1 in 2 when the student is lesbian, gay, or bisexual. There's also trends in anxiety and depression, something we're sitting down with a panel of experts to dig deep into the context and search for solutions.
I think the first thing you have to realize is that obviously this data is stark, and it is sad, and it is scary, and it's been happening for far too long. So we see that 18.1% of all students reported seriously considering suicide in the previous 12 months. That's a scary statistic.
The Youth Risk Behavioral Survey runs every 2 years in Wisconsin, and these latest results were taken from fall of 2021. Coming up tomorrow morning on For the Record at 10:30, join Naomi Coles and her panelists for a deeper dive into this issue. Electric cars that may not only be spelling the end of the internal combustion engine, they could also take AM radio off the air. Many of the major electric vehicle manufacturers have been leaving AM radio off their new cars, including BMW, Tesla, Volkswagen, Ford, and Volvo. The reason is electromagnetic interference, which causes static and noise on the AM dial, which annoys motorists. Broadcasters and elected officials, though, worry that if AM radio disappears, the country will lose a vital capability to reach the public during emergencies. Two women are suing Apple over their ex's use of AirTags to secretly track their movements and whereabouts in real time. Apple introduced AirTags, which retail for $29 in 2021. They work by connecting to iPhones and iPads via Bluetooth and can detect approximate locations.
But there's a risk of misuse. And in those kind of cases, the manufacturer of the product can be held liable for any anticipated misuse of the product. But in this case, the product's doing what it's supposed to do. It's tracking where the AirTag is. And in fact, if you made that impossible, then the AirTag wouldn't be useful.
The California lawsuit accuses Apple of negligence, design defects, and privacy violations. An Apple spokesperson declined to comment directly on the lawsuit. Let's take a look at our certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Julian Seawright.
Well, the gloomy weather we had for today is going to continue heading into our Sunday. A dense fog advisory is in effect from areas in Lone Rock all the way to the east. So that gray on your screen, we're going to be looking at that fog to stick around for us. It's rather stubborn along with the cloud cover, but at least we're starting to see a bit of improvement. Southwestern side on your screen is where we are looking for a bit of some openings for us outside of our sky cam, but it is still rather thick as we continue throughout the rest of tonight. Now, in terms of visibility, areas just to the northwest is where we're still looking at less than a mile for Lone Rock, but for Wisconsin Dells, about 1.75 miles. In Madison, about 6 miles, but towards the Illinois state line is even lower visibility for us. So if you're traveling for us tonight, make sure you're taking it slow and, of course, using your low beams. Take a look at our radar. We did have a small little burst of some flurries and drizzle, but that's pretty much cleared up for us here in southern Wisconsin. Areas just into the southeast had a little bit of shower activity near Lake Geneva, but that's also cleared up for us. So it's going to be a dry night, though it's still going to be rather foggy, but we have some unsettled weather on the way, folks. As we continue throughout the rest of the next few days, we are looking for tomorrow to be quiet, but we're still going to have that stubborn cloud cover. Now, we are looking for these systems coming in from the Great Plains, starting to move themselves into the upper Midwest, which is going to be bringing in some more weather that's going to be quite wet heading into our Tuesday and especially through about Friday. So let's walk through what we're going to be expecting for the rest of the weekend. Sunday nights, we're going to see cloudy conditions. It's going to be foggy. Temperatures will be into the lower 30s. Heading out the door for the morning walk or with the dog or just either heading out in general. It's going to still be chilly, but it's going to be cloudy and it will be foggy. We're not going to start to see a bit of that fog lifting until we get into about the noon hour, but even still, conditions themselves are not going to be changing much outside of temperatures warming just a couple degrees. As we head into our Sunday evening, still into the mid-30s, some areas into the upper 30s, but you can see just north of the Dells, still into the lower 30s sector of things. So it's going to be still a chilly day for us, but rather tolerable. Not going to be seeing much in terms of windy conditions or much in terms of precipitation. Heading into Sunday night, still not going to be looking at much change. It's almost a carbon copy of what we have for tonight on our hands. Might see a couple of drizzles, but overall it's mainly going to be to the northern side between the Dells and Wautoma and our friends near Juneau and Fond du Lac. Now, as we go into our Monday morning, things are still going to be chilly, but windy conditions will start to pick up just a bit. So those winds will be intensifying by the time we get into our Monday lunchtime hour. But again, what we're really going to be watching for is the developments heading into our Tuesday and for our Wednesday. We are looking for a system to move its way in, bringing in rain, and by the time we get into our Thursday and Friday, going to start to see a bit of some snow right behind it. But the rain in itself is one of the bigger stories because we are looking for an abundance over the couple of days from the event to be bringing in close to an inch of rainfall throughout much of southern Wisconsin. This is by the time we get into our Friday noon hour, mainly going to start to see some snow if there is any precipitation at this time. But before then, we're still looking at quite a bit of rain on our hands. Now, as we take a look at our 3 things we'll need to know, we're looking at foggy conditions throughout the weekend. Drizzle will start to still stick around throughout tonight. Slick spots, expect those as we get into our Sunday morning. Outside of that, we are watching for next week as we are looking at developments once again of just some rain, but then even snow will start to roll its way back in by the time we get into our Thursday night, and potentially even for our Wednesday night as well. We could start to see some opportunities to see snowfall. Outside of that, though, things are going to be rather on the pretty steady side in terms of temperatures, but we are going to be watching for what could happen coming in the middle of next week and for next weekend, McKenna. All
right, thanks, Julian. Beloved sports reporter Grant Wall died suddenly while covering the World Cup quarterfinals in Qatar. Wall was a CBS Sports contributor and a leading soccer writer in the United States. Today, he's being remembered by the soccer and sports community across the world. Christian Benavides has the story.
Famed American journalist Grant Wall collapsed as he covered the World Cup quarterfinal match between Argentina and the Netherlands. Other reporters working in the press box at the stadium in Qatar say he fell back in his seat.
The medics were there very quickly, and they, worked with him for, 20, 30 minutes before he was taken on a stretcher.
The World Cup organizing committee said Wall was taken to a nearby hospital, but did not provide a cause of death.
For him to not be with us anymore at such a young age, that's an immense shock.
Earlier in the week, Wall said he had visited a medical clinic for his worsening bronchitis. Wall's wife, Dr. Celine Gounder, who is a CBS News medical contributor, tweeted that she is in complete shock.
It's a tragic loss.
NBA star LeBron James was among many in the sports world offering condolences. Wall covered his first World Cup in 1998. Last month, he received an award for his work from Brazilian soccer great Ronaldo.
The business of football is big now in the United States, but so is the actual sport.
Wall's human rights and LGBTQ advocacy also drew notoriety. During the World Cup in Qatar, Wall reported he was briefly detained for wearing a rainbow T-shirt while covering a match. He also wrote about the conditions migrant workers faced while building soccer stadiums in the Persian Gulf nation. He was honored before Saturday's England versus France quarterfinal match. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Coming up in sports, the Elite Eight battle at Fieldhouse tonight. We have more on Wisconsin's match with Pittsburgh.
3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's nothing.
Sounds like something.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol coats and soothes for fast relief when you need it most.
For fast sore throat relief, try Vicks VapoCool Drops with 2 times more menthol per drop and the powerful rush of Vicks Vapors for fast-acting relief you can feel. Vicks VapoCool Drops, fast relief you can feel.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. Attention all women who have been diagnosed with ovarian cancer. If you or a loved one used talcum powder for routine feminine hygiene and later suffered from ovarian cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The use of talc-based powders has been linked to ovarian cancer. Call right now.
Call 1-800-982-8758.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits, advanced Wi-Fi, and Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999. Spectrum Internet delivers the fastest speeds in the nation for smoother surfing, streaming, gaming, and more. Advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security and privacy that automatically blocks threats to protect all of your devices. And Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data with reliable nationwide 5G coast to coast. Switch now. Call 833-673-4999. At Spectrum, it's not just about connecting things, it's about connecting you. Get it all with Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
For the fifth straight season, Wisconsin volleyball finds itself in the Elite Eight, but the hope is to keep dancing and punch its ticket to a fourth straight Final Four. Now, in order to do that, they have to get past Pittsburgh first. That's not an easy task because this one is going to go to a fifth set, winner take all, and winner heads to Omaha. Devin Robinson leads things off with a shot from the right side that's one of her match-high 21 kills. But some costly attack errors by the Badgers allow Pittsburgh to take the lead and then add to it. So the rally is on. And Sarah Franklin is going to be the one that kicks off a scoring run, to which Ulia Orgel is going to tip it over for the lead. Now later on, this one gets tied up at 13. Pittsburgh's going to send a dagger to the back row. Courtney Bizarro has the final say in this match as the Badgers fall in 5. They will end their season with a 28-4 record as Pittsburgh advances to the national semifinals. They're going to take on Louisville Thursday in Omaha. Nick Herbig is on the move. The junior linebacker announces on Twitter this afternoon that he is officially declaring for the 2023 NFL Draft after spending 3 seasons in red and white. Now this season, Herbig led the Big Ten Conference with 15.5 tackles for loss and 11 sacks. His career as a whole, he had 137 tackles. 97 of those were solo, with 36 tackles for loss and 21 sacks. Day 1 of the NFL Draft is set for April 27th. Badger women's hockey made it 4 straight wins after taking the series opener with Minnesota State yesterday. Now the Badgers hope to break out the brooms for the series finale and head into winter break with a sweep. Well, they get to work pretty quickly. Britta Carl buries the first goal of the game just 5 minutes in. It's her 12th of the season. Well, the Mavs go on to tie it up later on in the period on the power play, but the tie, it doesn't last long. Carl is on the move and ready for more right before the second intermission. It's her second goal of the game that gives Bucky the lead, and it's all UW after that. They go on to win this one 5-1 and are off for 2 weeks before a series with Quinnipiac. Game 2 of the border battle, the Badgers trying to avoid a sweep by the Gophers, so they get to work first. Corson Ceulemans capitalizes on UW's power play for that early 1-0 lead, and Brock Caulfield, he gets in there just a few minutes later for that insurance goal. But the Gophers go on to score 3 straight to close out this period. They sweep the series behind a 6-4 win. In less than 24 hours, the rivalry gets renewed in Iowa City. Badger men's basketball hits the road for its first meeting of the season with the Hawkeyes, and it's a matchup that this team has been looking forward to, especially with it being on the road. The Badgers haven't picked up a win at Carver Hawkeye Arena since 2018, so heading there with an identical record to Iowa with back-to-back wins, Badgers are ready to get the Big Ten battle started.
Just the way they move the ball and the pace they play. I kind of like all these other teams play with Wake and Marquette, teams that move fast and play in transition. So just limiting those couple things should be good for us.
They're a running gun team. We got a lot of shooters in the team, so we got to come out, jump on shooters, and just play our game in this hostile crowd. So just got to keep our composure, play as a team, and we'll be fine.
And Iowa will be without their star player. Chris Murray has been sidelined with a foot injury this afternoon. Hawkeyes head coach Fran McCaffrey said he anticipates that Murray will be out tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Final check of our first run forecast is coming up when we return.
this December one to remember. Together. Happy holidays from Lexus.
After driving cattle in the 1880s, hitting the hay could be a literal experience. But some lucky cowpokes got to sack out in a brand new Sealy mattress. And after 140 years, Sealy is still delivering a great night's sleep. That's why Denver Mattress is proud to offer the Sealy Posturepedic Plus Hybrid. With cool-to-touch covers, body-hugging memory foams, and motion-reducing coils, you'll sleep cooler and more comfortably all night long. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Sealy.
The holidays can be so stressful. So give the gift of wellness. Buy $100 in Massage Envy gift cards and receive a free $20 promo card. Keep your body working.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection is here 24 hours a day.
7 days a week for all your residential and commercial plumbing services.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, we've got you covered.
Visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
If you still have symptoms of moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis or active psoriatic arthritis after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different and may help.
Stand up to your symptoms with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that tackles pain, stiffness, swelling. For some, Rinvoq significantly reduces RA and PSA fatigue.
It can stop further irreversible joint damage, and Rinvoq can leave skin clear or almost clear in PSA. That's Rinvoq Relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq. Rinvoq. Make it your mission. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Liberty Mutual. They customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Contestants ready? Go! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, Lexus, play holiday music.
Make this December one to remember. Together. Happy holidays from Lexus.
News 3 Now's 12 Days of Giving, presented by SSM Health.
And a look at our 10-day forecast. This is what we have in store for us. We're going to be seeing rather tolerable temperatures, but we're watching for our next weather maker starting in for our Tuesday nights, and we could bring in some snow for next weekend. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure you tune in for News 3 Now this morning at 6:30 to 8.